Hello, everyone. I wanted to record a review of stake.com, my website. I launched it nearly a month ago at this point. I'm currently recording this on April 2nd, and I launched it like March 3rd. So I noticed that some things are changing. So I figured I want to solidify this in history as this website was since the beginning. It took me a few weeks to build. I would say probably 4 weeks, if not five. It was a lot of research. It was a lot of creative writing. There's a lot of web design. This is a HTML5 website. So not my forte. I'm used to making websites in WordPress. I wanted to introduce my website and also go through it, explain what each section means, how I intended the website to flow. Let's start with the domain name. I picked Stake Wealth after spending the entirety of my website planning. This was spent the entirety of nearly 4 weeks thinking of a domain name. I talked to some people in the community. Shout out to Motley Investor. Shout out to Maddie All In to get some feedback on some ideas I had. While I didn't choose other domains, I might as well shout out and give away the available domains related to Hex. So still available. You could use, and this was the second one I was about to go with, staked2.win. So it's like it reads staked to win, and you're kind of the dot win extension is what Richard used in the beginning. He had hex.win. So stake.win, stakedtoday.com, freedomstaked.com, hexstaked.com, hex power, hex hive, honey hive. Oh, actually, these two, hex hive and honey hex, I believe are apparently like really in demand domains. They go for like $5,000 or something, just because the word honey. But I thought those were perfect for branding. Hex Hive and Honey Hive, you can design a brand around honey and honeycombs and bees, which matches the hex gradient and the shape of a hexagon. So those are really really good. But apparently they were going for thousands of dollars on domain registrants. Then there's Hexicon, so HEXICON. Stakening, that one was good. Patience Pays Hex, that one was really good too. Blockcd.com, TD Hex, Time Deposit Hex, Staked Wealth, Go Hex Yourself, and Hex Staked. Now that I'm reading these, after about a month or about a month and a half, um, they're all really fun domain names. I like Go Hex Yourself. I like Stakening. I like Patience Pays Hex. But in the end, I went with Staked Wealth. So didn't incorporate the Hex name, but I incorporated the idea that the purpose of Hex is really to build the wealth. So this isn't really a get rich quick scheme. This isn't something that most of the staker class is holding for a year or two. This is something that we're locked into for 15 years, and it's at the point where it's wealth. It's at the point where, at least I can't speak for everyone else, but we're building generational wealth. We're not. I'm not. I know I'm not selling any hex until double digits. So anything below $10 is a steal, and I will keep putting in more money because what else is going to yield me 40% APY up until probably $10? But I think once we cross the double digits, that's when we're going to be on track to take over Bitcoin. You're going to see double digit, triple digits, quadruple digits, and then it's just going to go to the moon. I really think it has the momentum to be in the top three, if not even overtake Bitcoin. And as soon as more people realize the power of Hex, it's just gonna go parabolic. I wanted my domain name to combine the two elements that I think are most important in the Hex ecosystem. First is staking. If I'm going to promote, if I'm going to promote this, if I'm going to onboard people, I don't want to onboard them just to buy the token and speculate. I want to onboard them and show them the power of staking. So I wanted that to be the core theme of my website: staking and wealth generation. So I called it Staked Wealth. Now, let's go through each section. I'm going to try to make this as engaging as possible. But I think making this video is more so for me, just to document and solidify the website in the ether, just so we can, when we look back in 5-10 years, I can link a video and show, well, here's what I was doing 5-10 years ago. Here's how I was onboarding people during the pandemic, during a time when it's really difficult to uh, meet a lot of strangers face to face. Make book meetings, sit down face to face, and explain to people what is crypto, what is hex, what is staking. So I'm finding that I have to do a lot of virtual meetings, and that was really the initial focus of this website. And as you can see throughout the website, it will be the primary call to action. It's actually the only call to action. In the header, if you click free consultation, it opens up a calendar widget saying, schedule a webinar with me to learn how I recommend maximizing the HEX investment opportunity through a laddering strategy. We can also discuss onboarding, depositing, and withdrawing fiat, security tips, and FAQs. Now, I used to have two options here, and it clearly looks like something's missing. So on my calendly.com website, as you can see, I used to have an alternative option for intermediate webinar. I only chose this calendar booking app because they will let you have multiple options. So when I first registered a month ago, there would be beginner and intermediate. And the whole point is, if somebody books the beginner, I know going into it that it's someone who is very green to crypto. So I can be prepared in the mindset that this is someone who I need to break things down 101, versus someone who books an intermediate meeting. I could just come in there, they know crypto, they're just looking to find out a little bit more about hex. So see, if whenever I turn it on, it says I have to upgrade. I may do it in the future. So far, this website's been around for a month. I've got 3 bookings just from me posting the link on Twitter. Any opportunity I get to jump in the conversation, I try to say, oh, well, does your crypto yield you 40% APY? Are you getting paid to hold the crypto that you believe in? Check out hex.com. So so far I'm just left with a beginner webinar, which is fine because I assume most people that I interact with will be beginners. And then you can come down here, choose a time slot. The first heading, right? This is the most important part of the website. What do people see? What do people read when the web page loads? So there was a quote I heard Richard say when I was first doing my research in Hex earlier this year. It was during a live stream. I really don't remember where it was, but when he said it, it clicked for me. And he said, Hex is an ecosystem where everyone wins. He was describing the tribalism with other cryptos. He was describing the shortfalls of other cryptos. I really connected with him saying that Hex is an ecosystem where everyone wins. So versus Bitcoin, where billionaires are buying it and they're getting richer, the little guy can make a lot of money in Hex. The economical energy to boost Hex from a penny and beyond is nothing compared to the economical energy it's going to take to boost Bitcoin from 60,000 to 100,000 to 200,000. So not only is Hex a crypto token that's still in its infancy and can generate tremendous returns and just its token appreciation, but it's also a crypto that can yield you interest. So even if you're coming from a third world, there is plenty of opportunity to generate wealth via staking in HEX. Next, I introduced the product, cryptocurrency HEX. Now, this is something that I went back and forth a lot with myself. I was first going to just call it crypto HEX. Then I decided to do the long form to really make it apparent for complete newbies, complete no coiners, what we're looking at. So we're not looking at a product in the traditional finance space. This is related 100% to cryptocurrency. So I wanted to make that very clear. I think the short form of crypto doesn't have the most positive, connotation to it at the moment. So I wanted to expand it and just say, traditionally cryptocurrency HEX. But also, I was here listening to a Motley investor stream where he said that even the word cryptocurrency does not have the most positive connotation nowadays. Um, so he even suggested to refer to HEX as being a crypto asset. And that's still something I'm debating. Crypto asset does not have the same ring as cryptocurrency, but it it kind of gets away from the stigma of all other crypto tokens and paints it as really a store of value. It's an asset you want to buy, which will yield you a return. So I may still change that to crypto asset. Next, I say cryptocurrency HEX, monetizing the time value of money. HEX is the first blockchain certificate of deposit, engineered to significantly appreciate and earn average 40% APY interest. So I think that is a perfect intro to what we're looking at. I really like the beginning of the sentence, monetizing the time value of money. And that's where I always begin my onboarding pitch is this is something where you can generate passive income and monetize the time value of money. um, so that's all great. Great, beautiful big logo. Call to action for a free consultation. And then as you scroll down, this remains the same at the bottom, book a consultation here. But first section we have, again, your eyes are being drawn to this title, The Future of Investing is Here. I really think HEX is the future of investing. And that's a great, big, bold statement right from the get-go. Now, at this point, the individual will either watch a video, which I've picked a video, longer pace better, like so. I will pause it. This is a great intro video, and it's alternative to my description here. So I wrote HEX is cryptocurrency in the centralized finance sector, developed to replace the global trillion-dollar banking services certificate of deposit. It is a new way to monetize the time value of money and the first of its kind on the blockchain. Now, you can read the rest. It's very similar wording to what else you see out there, but it's my version. Majority of the facts that I lay out are, reasons to look into HEX and the reasons why it's so unique. So I figured the call to action at the end of this section should just be learning what other reasons, because I couldn't fit all of them in, but I figured I have a little button that says read more reasons why HEX is special. And it just links directly to the HEX website, where they lay out very, very nicely all the reasons that I also believe HEX is unique. So instead of trying to summarize all these sections, I think I made a good decision to just strictly link to this webpage. Then up here, there's another blurb. So for the technical folks that might not want to read the pitch, they may just want to read the technical overview of this product. They could see HEX is an ERC20 token and fully automated in the form of a smart contract on the Ethereum blockchain. Users can stake their tokens for a user-specified time. The longer they stake their tokens, the higher their returns will be. And then they scroll down, and this is where I can explain that unlike other cryptos, HEX has real utility. So it's not just about buying and holding and transferring and trading. there is a lot of things you can do just within this ecosystem. So I have this graphic on the left-hand side. This one went through a lot of iterations. The first version of it was animated. So I'm coming from an animation background, and I wanted to, leverage all the skills that I have into this website. But in the end, the animated version was like 6 megabits. It was really heavy. It was not going to work on the website, so I had to scrap it, unfortunately. And I went with this HTML5 design where there's a spinning graphic, and then I just used the hex gradient um, like this. Now I started working on making all those circles hexagons, but it was very time consuming. Uh, and I think the circles give a good contrast to the hexagons in the forefront. But yeah, there's an Easter egg where there are still some hexagons that I started working on, but then scrapped the idea in the background. But these 6 pillars are really important to lay out. So I said hex is the kind of the words that really describe hex. The pillars are decentralized, trustless, immutable, autonomous, time deposit, compounding. And then on the right-hand side, I have this section called Hex has real utility, earn interest while price increases. And that's the thesis of these tabs here. So staking, price appreciation, and the positive game theory. So for staking, I have a section here describing what is staking. Now there's the one challenging thing about this website is having to constantly go back in and update it, right? I made this website when Hex was going for about 0.0088, so about an eighth of a penny. And back then, the value of all the Hex staked was about 500 to about $670 million. It went as low as like 570 when I was working on the website in late February. But now it's well over $1 billion. So now I need to go back and fix these statistics. But I think it was really, really important to finish on these stats because when you're talking to people who aren't in crypto yet, giving these figures of there's $1 billion worth of HEX currently staked for an average of 15 years. And it's not staked by by a few whales. It's staked by over 27,000 users across over 200,000 stakes. So it's very much diversified, and there's still opportunity to get in. Staking that much money for an average of 5 years is just beyond this world. So for people who have read the blurb or have not read the blurb, alternatively, they can watch a video. So this video is the secret to earning the highest ROI on Hex, like this. Great video explaining Hex. So then they can move on to the second utility of it, just the price appreciation and how scarce it's been designed to be, how price sensitive Hex is. I also described that Hex is also the first cryptocurrency with a chart of future sellable supply. So if people click this link, which again I just recently made to open a new tab, if they scroll all the way down, there's a bar chart of the upcoming end stakes. So down here, again, unprecedented in the crypto space, and adds to the game theory because now you can be incentivized to make your time deposits end perhaps right before others end. So though we don't know what users are going to do when their stakes end, whether they're going to sell, whether they're going to just sell a portion of it or restake it, there's always a potential that they could perhaps sell their crypto. And if they do it in a very abrupt manner, it could really drop the price. So one way you can protect yourself is by simply having your stake end a few days before. And the third tab talks about the Sticker Class and the price positive gain theory behind Hex. the utility and other utility ideas behind HEX. So in this blurb, I describe game theory, the value of staking, and finish it off saying, if you want to learn about other use cases of HEX, watch this video by Crypto Coffee. Next section. HEX is here to stay long term. There is currently $1 billion worth of stakes locked for an average of 5 years. So again, if someone's been skipping through the website and they just want to get the big facts, then I think this should really stand out to them. And then I say that it's been engineered to appreciate. Now, I played around this line a few different ways. I was going to say designed to appreciate, but I think engineered to appreciate kind of speaks to what really happened, and just the fact that this is the part of the utility is locking up the supply of the token and making it and just amplifying the scarcity of the token to thus pump the price. So then I have a slider with 3 graphics I took from hexgraphs.com. Again, graphics that really speak to me. They're just on the top 3 of the performance section of the website. My personal one is this one, just how much the appreciation of HEX exceeded Ethereum, Bitcoin, Amazon, the S&P 500 in 2020. Now, this chart, to be corrected, should be I don't have a marker, but this price is now all the way here. So I really made this website when the price was at the floor, when it was at the very significant support level. And I knew that. That's why I jumped on this. I'm like, I need to get in now. I need to tell more people about it right now because the price will skyrocket. And just over the past month, it's more than doubled. So there's that. Does it really surprise me? No. Does it make me excited? No, because I think it's going to do much more than just a twofold this year. We're all aiming for 10 to 50 and more. If it did 352x last year, and even if it does half of that this year, the price is going to be multiple dollars, and it's currently almost 2 pennies. So, also in the background, I have a hex graphic. It's a 3D rendering of the hex coins, and then scrolling down, explaining my story. So, again, I wanted to put my face to a project. I wanted to get out there, and I wanted to not have an anonymous profile, not have an anonymous brand. I wanted to, I wanted to have another way to connect with people, and in my case, connect with younger people. So I wanted to explain where I'm coming from, and perhaps I can make a connection with millennials and even older folks. A few years ago, I mostly onboarded much older people, and age was not an issue. So here's my section, and kind of giving a bit of the human element to stakewealth.com. This isn't just a promo website by an anonymous person, but it's by a real person. And here's someone who's explaining their journey and their reasons for being in it. So again, call to action is booking a meeting with me, like so. And then there's some links. My YouTube, I already have 3 videos, 9 views, 6 views, 4 views. Not much, but I don't care about numbers. For me, it's about having a reference and leveraging the YouTube platform to get the word out and bring in no coiners, like bring in people who aren't in the crypto space, more so than trying to encourage tribalists that are all for Cardano or all for Ethereum to look into HEX, because that is a losing game. Then I have my Twitter, Staked Wealth at Staked Wealth, 36 following, 17 followers. I'm very active on Twitter, and always retweeting, always replying. There's some very good content, and if you're looking to get a pretty good summary of Hex and interact with the community, then Twitter is the best way to do it. Very active. There's this chart here that I want to do my next video about, just the trajectory of Hex compared to Ethereum. And this was right around the time that I got in. I got into crypto in February of 2017, back when Ethereum was like $25, $30. And I went through this very similar cycle. So, um, yeah. So I'm going to make this video next, showing how there's a lot of similarities between the early stages of Ethereum compared to Hex, and how Hex is primed to do a similar move. Then there's my Telegram. So if you wanted to reach me directly, I'm on Telegram, and then email for folks that need to contact me via email. There's my Gmail. I might change it to a Proton email address. I don't know yet, but Gmail seems to work fine for now. And next up, a section for Hex's changing lives. So again, a quick blurb of you know, how much other cryptos have appreciated and how Hex, in some ways, more superior. And if other cryptos have done 2 million X and over 10,000 X in the matter, and within less than a decade, Hex so far has done 352 X in the first year. Second year could be another 300X, another 50X, whatever, and then keep pumping beyond that. So Hex is very, very special, and it really is changing lives. So far, only about a year in, there's so many testimonial videos of people being able to pay off their student debt, be able to buy full spec $500,000 Lamborghinis, and then a lot more people are staked and looking at their staker app, showing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, currently appreciating. So, frequently asked questions. So I just wanted to put the top objections that I get. So is it is it a scam? Is it a Ponzi scheme? There's links to videos, who invented it, about Richard Hart, the volatility, how was interest generated, and just recommending getting into the community like this. Then there's some partner websites. So these should open a new tab. Great. So the 4 websites that I really appreciated when I got in were hex.com, hex graphs to visualize performance, staking, things like this. Hexicans.info is a blog. I found, so very technical. I found an article on staking, and TerraShare is really useful. So when I was getting into Hex, and I couldn't wrap my mind around TerraShares, the underlying asset of Hex that is designed to only go up over time. This blog really explained it. And then lastly is Hex Scam. So this was a brilliant project where in the beginning, the description was changed to amplify that, oh yeah, Hex is a scam. And then big crypto influencers who didn't like Hex for one reason or another would link to this website saying, yeah, look at hexscam.com. They explain how it's not a good project, right? That's why. But then after a few months, they swapped the website and actually said, oh, thanks for all the traffic. But actually, it's not a scam. It's totally legit. And they explain why it is and why are people calling it a scam. So I found that really, really interesting. Then I have a price widget. So this is from Coin Paprika. And I found their night theme to be really good and match my footer. So this one, I wanted to give, again, a little bit of more life to my website and have certain figures update on their own. So though I wasn't able to connect the API to change the value of money being staked or number of stakes, an easy one was just plugging in a widget of Hex. So though Coin Paprika is not the most accurate, Hex is not ranked 25. Hex is more so the top 13. I saw it at 17. I think recently was top 13 crypto on nomics.com. When I started this website, I remember I was looking at this figure, percentage from all-time highs, and it was about like 60 to 70% from all-time highs. And I think currently it's hovering at about a penny and 8, or a penny and 7.5. It currently dipped. Again, buy more now. But yeah, it's already crossed 2 pennies, broke its all-time highs, and currently it's consolidating and ready to make its next leg up. So back when I was making this website, this used to say 0.0082, I remember, and then 88. And then right below the widget, I have a link that says, see just how economically sensitive the price of Hex is designed to be. So I have this chart pop up, and this is the chart that I remember like made me jump into Hex. Like after all of the research, after seeing different stakes and how much people were staking, in the end it was this chart that told me, hey, Hex is this price sensitive. Like I really need to be a part of this, because from my experience, the figures required to make it 10x, 100x are peanuts to what is going on in the crypto space. There's tens, if not hundreds of millions being pumped into coins every single day. Projects, not products, that provide promises, and still they draw a lot of investment. So if Hex, which is a complete product, immutable smart contract, if this can draw, just $4 million or $18 million of investment, it's already going to 10x and 100x. So as you can see, this was in early March, when price was just 86, and currently I'm recording this video April 2nd, where price is more than double what it was back then. And I may do a update video next month, and it'll be triple, quadruple. It really will be much higher. So not financial advice, but it's mathematically designed to appreciate this much. And then I have this brilliant section. This was one of the first features I thought of when I was designing this. And when I was imagining the website in my head, I knew people were going to be skeptical. I knew that I was going to put in all this time, and I may not even get that much support. I may not even onboard that many people, but I wanted to prove a point. I wanted to prove a point that said, you may be ignorant, you may not want to do your research, but you really are going to miss the boat. So let me tell you how much you missed the boat by. So I think it's inevitable that people are going to get into Hex, especially crypto people, but they aren't there just yet. It's been a year, and we have like 21,000 people in the Telegram group. There's a few thousand elsewhere, like in the Russian, the Swedish, the Asian Hex groups. So the community is probably around like 25,000 people, but it's still a very small percentage. I have this link to MailChimp to collect email addresses. And if someone who's read the website and is still skeptical, I want them to plug in their email address and let me automate updating them every quarter with the ROI if they had invested when they saw this website. So a fun little feature. And the last, I have my disclaimer stating that I'm just an independent investor. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. and go down the rabbit hole yourself. Your future self will thank you. And then I also want to point out that I do not share affiliate links. I never ask for compensation. So if in the future people were going to impersonate me and ask for compensation, that is not me. And I never share affiliate links. So while other crypto influencers want to shill their Staker app referral link, I'm not behind Staker app completely. I think there's a lot of questions surrounding it, and I don't want to promote a referral link. So if someone's still interested in getting into Staker app, there's everyone else has a referral link. I don't think it's necessary, and I don't want to shill that product. But yeah, so again, the whole purpose of this website is to provide an overview that is a balance between a bit technical, but more so kind of rudimentary and surface level. So there's nothing technical up until the FAQs, but for the most part, it's very surface level. I made it very simple and digestible. And again, it's for people who aren't into crypto, but it's for people who are looking, wouldn't mind making 40% APY because nothing in the real world will pay them nearly that much interest. Thanks for sticking around. If you're not a HEX yet, look into it. And if you are, congratulations. You're on the right side of history. All right. Bye, guys.